Hey everybody, welcome back to Paul's Little Forge. We're going to continue on with the last part of our 52-100 roller bearing knife. We're going to finish it in this video, and I hope everybody likes it when we get done. I just want to show you right now, I have it kind of taped up. We finished hand sanding it. I took it up to 320 on both sides. I didn't worry too much about the handle here. I'm not going to waste a bunch of time trying to fix that when it's going to be covered by the handle. Plus, we're going to grind into this a little bit before we put the handle on it too. So we are going to rough it up intentionally because we use epoxy on it. After hand sanding, I took it to the Rockwell hardness tester to see what the hardness of this baby was, and it is now the official hardest knife I've ever heat treated. It's at 64. I don't normally go for high heat treat numbers. I go for what works best for the steel, and being harder does not necessarily mean it's a better knife, guys. If you're gonna have a bushcraft knife and you're gonna beat on it pretty good, 64 Rockwell hardness is not the right hardness for that knife. It needs to be lower, it needs to be stronger. So this 52-100, it's got quite a bit of manganese in it, which we talked about earlier. It helps keep the strength in it. The silicone in it is there because it kind of locks the carbides in the cells. It's kind of like a gatekeeper, doesn't let it leave. So this is really good steel. We are going to start working on the finger guard. We're going to put that finger guard in here, and I'm going to take it to the mill to put that groove in there. I'm going to drill some holes on the mill with it as well. And then we're going to put the handle on. We're going to use this beautiful Padauk wood. Love this stuff. And once we get all that done and sand it and all finished, we'll be finished with this project. So now we're going to move on to the mill. This is how we are going to make sure that the holes in the finger guard do line up with the holes in the knife. I put a little piece of tape down here. We're going to drop that pin in there. We'll slide this over the top. I got a center line in there. We'll move it around until we find it. So I got this in the vise. I'm just trying to get my holes here to line up with my holes in the finger guard. First thing we're going to do is get that done. I'm a little ways off right now, but getting close. Guys, if you notice, I've drawn a little circle on here and a line on the back side. Did the same thing on the other side. As you can see there, let me get it to focus in. So I'm going to grind that to that shape, and that'll be the start of our finger guard. All right, so I just ground that a little bit. I didn't film it because it's just really hard to see. But that is the start of our finger guard. Now I'm going to draw on it a little bit more. Okay. So now we got this. It's starting to look like a finger guard. And let's see what else we can do. Okay, look here. I've drawn a couple of more circles on it. So I'm going to give this a little bit of a scallop look. So we got this. Put a little scallop in the top there. So it's going to be our finger guard. All right, so I got the finger guard put on the knife. Just put the pins in. It's pretty tight. As you can see, the pins are sticking out a little bit. I'm going to peen the living hell out of those to make sure that they never come out. And then we're going to take this over put it in the mill and drill those holes. I'm going to do it in the mill so that there's no play, because this area right here where my thumb is, we want that wood to that finger guard as tight as it can be. And on my little cheap buck 2 drill press right there, it's a POS and it flexes quite a bit. But I got this nice little machine shop mill here that does a really good job of going straight. I forgot to turn the camera on when I was drilling these holes, guys, but they're drilled in there. Took it to the bandsaw and cut it, but I want to show you the real color of this Padauk wood. So it turns that color after it's been exposed to sunlight for a little while, but on the inside, that's what she looks like. So that's what we're going to sand it down, get that nice fresh look there, and then we'll put some sealer on it to make it stay that color. So I drew the knife handle out on there. Now I'm going to take it over and I'm going to cut away a bunch of this excess wood on here before I glue it into place. Then also, since we're going to be using these fasteners right here, these little brass ones, get that to focus. They're going to go in this, so it needs a shoulder to ride on, and that's what this little baby right here is for. That's going to give us we're going to drill in a little bit, get us a little shoulder. We'll be able to clamp these to the blade, and then we'll be able to grind it into shape. So we are about to put the handle on our little knife here. Just want to show you, I'm going to mix 2 batches of epoxy. I'm going to mix some clear right here to go on the handle in here. And I have some Padauk dust in here, and I'm going to mix some epoxy in there. And I'm going to put it right on the end right here. I think I'm pretty tight once I get everything pinned together, but the color will match a little bit better if there's any kind of little gap or something there that's got a little pinhole in it or something. So that's what I'm going to do there. All right, guys, if you look close at this, you can see that I kind of roughed this up a little bit down here so that we get a good bond on our epoxy. I'm going to dress up this handle a little bit first. It doesn't take a lot. You can go really thin with it. And this is not fast setting epoxy. I don't use 5-minute epoxy on knife handles. Lots of people do, say it works fine for them. I'm not a fan of it. It only holds for, I don't know, 2,800 PSI or something like that, something low. But I use one that's up over 100,000 PSI. So I want to make sure that I have an excellent bind when I do this. Cooperate for a minute there.
I love these little fittings here, these Corby bolts. You can tighten them up, and I like them because you can continue on shaping the handle before your epoxy sets, because these are clamped on there. When you're using just a pin, you kind of got to let that pin set. You know, even though you pinned it over, you're going to have to wait for that epoxy to dry, because that pin is not near as good as this.
So it looks like this is all set up. The handle is on there now. The epoxy should be holding it. It's been sitting for quite a while. Take up the blade a little bit so we don't bump it or scratch it. And guys, whenever you're working on your handle, cover your blade. You're gonna hit it, you're gonna scratch it, or you're gonna mess it up, and it's gonna kind of tick you off. So try to cover it. So guys, this is just super glue, CA glue, super glue, it's all the same thing. What I do is I usually just put a couple of, it just depends, no less than 3 coats on at a time, and let it dry. And then I lightly sand it a little bit, and all right, friends, we got this knife made. I think it came out pretty good. It's not perfect. There's a few little scratches and stuff if you look really close. So kind of cool that we started with this same exact style roller bearing, or bearing roller, and got this out of it. It's a nice little knife. So I'm gonna close it out here. Just wanna show you guys real quick. I got a project coming up with this item right here, so that's gonna be a lot of fun. And join me next week when I show you how to make crystal meth using items only from your neighbor's shed. Thank you guys.